Hello YouTube, thank you for joining my channel today. My name is James, and in today's video I'm actually going to be working on this LG monitor. And what I'm going to be doing today is LG did this weird thing with this particular monitor in that it is VersaMount compatible. I will show you in a minute with the overhead camera, but you have to actually remove the base of the monitor, or you have to take the monitor apart to remove the base to make it easy to use the VersaMount. So in today's video, I'm actually not using this monitor anymore, so I'm going to be going through and basically doing the reverse and putting this base back on. So with that said, let's dive into the video. Alrighty, so like I said in the other shot, this monitor is VersaMount compatible. That's what these holes are for here. So, but like I said, in order to actually use the VersaMount, you have to take the monitor apart in order to put the base on, or take the base off. So, but yeah, so we're gonna dive in here. This is not something that I recommend just anybody doing. You should be fairly comfortable with taking the electronics apart, because you can break clips and things like that when doing this. So with that said, let's get started on the work. So I'm going to turn this monitor around so that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. There are two screws right here at the bottom that need to come off. So we'll take that one out. And we'll take this one out. And then I believe the rest of it is just prying this thing apart. So we're going to flip it over to where you're seeing the top side of the sorry, I had to adjust the camera view a little bit. But yeah, we're turning it over to where you're seeing the top side. And this thing does not come apart very easily. I do remember that from when I took the stand off. And it was definitely something to be like, okay, yeah, remind me to never buy an LG monitor, because it is a pain in the rear. So, get into my drawer here and get my prying tools out. We'll start with this metal tool. And nope, that's not working. It's just bending the tool there. So we'll go with something a little bit thicker here. And basically, like I said, we just pry until we get this thing to come open. Come on. This This is way more complicated than it should have been, and I have no idea why LG did it this way. I mean, everybody else would just have a couple of screws here. You know, you slide the base in and bolt it down that way, but LG decided that, you know, even though they added the vase mount compatibility, they decided that, you know, people probably don't need to use it. So, yeah. Well, let's come in from the top then. Maybe. There we go. Alrighty. Oh yeah, I'll just kind of walk around it. Let me adjust the camera a bit so you can sort of see what I'm doing here. So you just kind of walk around it a bit and like just pry. Of course, this side doesn't want to be quite as easy as the other side was. There we go. So come on. There we go. There it is. Alrighty. And yep. So now this panel is off. Now carefully flip it over because everything has been separated at this point. But now you can take the back panel off. Right, like so. Okay, so this will fit on here, right like that, and I will be right back. All right, I am back, and you know, through the magic of editing, I have put in the 4 screws here that are required to hold this in place, as well as this screw here in the middle. Just kind of holds everything in place. I had to go find all of the hardware and stuff because I did not put it back in here when I took this apart. That's my mistake. When you do take this apart, put the hardware back in. That way you have it for if you decide to put the mount back on later. Just a quick pro tip. So the only thing left to do is to go ahead and put this thing back together. There's a couple of clips that wound up getting broken off in the process of taking it apart. That's the problem with things like this that are clipped together, is you will wind up breaking things, or can wind up breaking things. But yeah, another downside to this particular monitor. So to put it back together is the exact opposite of the way you took it apart. You're basically just going to line everything up, which, I mean, it's not hard to line up. Carefully flip it back over. And yeah, just squeeze it all back together until it clips back in place. And there you have it. The monitor will now stand on its own. And since this is done, we're going to go ahead and go back up to the face camera. Alrighty. What we have is, or what we did today was took this LG monitor. This specific model is an LG Flatron W2343T. It's an older 23-inch display. Has worked, you know, it's a decent display, minus the fact that you have to take it apart to take the base off. That just makes things more complicated than it really should be for a VESA mount monitor. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.